All right, what's good, y'all, man? I'm happy, man. I'm happy, boy. I'm happy, you know what I'm saying? We about to, um, I just got like a whole bunch of new equipment. I got this new microphone, can hear good. I've been testing for like for hours, bro. I finally got everything set up, and you know what I'm saying? So we about to react to this Detroit Pistons most directionless team in the NBA. Look, I didn't come for this video for disrespect, okay? Okay, hoops reference. I didn't come to this video for disrespect. Let's go. Let's see what he's talking about, man. Let's just see what he's talking about, bro.
In sports throughout history,
You better not be saying nothing crazy.
Theme is that they have all had competent front offices that guided them in a direction.
We have a competent front office.
Purpose, so that down the line, however far that may be, they can see their work come into fruition with success on the court or field or whatever sport they're playing. In the NBA, this especially applies as we look at all of the most recent champions like the Warriors, Raptors, and Lakers, and they all proved that beyond the court, their front office made strong move after.
Oh, and by the way, I'm getting a green screen like in about 2 days. So all this will be gone. And I'm probably gonna be moving to like this corner. Like yeah.
Strong move to put them in that position. Then when
Blake,
you look
man.
at the opposite end of the standings,
This man,
you
Blake.
tend to see the opposite of this.
I can't
Some
believe we
teams
still
that are
have him on the
struggling
team,
right
man.
now
You
can
should have
still
traded
be
him, bro.
well-run organizations as long
Gosh.
as they have a
The
plan
Pistons are
for
doing
the
good, though. I
future.
like that they
But
drafted
the
Killian
teams coming
Hayes
up short time
and
time
stuff.
again are the ones without
And I like how they
real
signed D'Angelo
direction,
Ball, too.
which brings us to the topic
You know what I'm
of today's
saying?
video. Today, we'll be discussing
Now
the
people are actually
Detroit
talking about us
Pistons
again.
and why, in my opinion, they are the most directionless franchise in the NBA.
Man, F you, boy.
Nothing
I'm just
about their
playing.
plans over the last few years, nor any moves that they've made recently or in their future, make any sense whatsoever. And I'll get into all of this in the video. Before we start, though, it turns out about
Make
60%
any
of
sense.
you watching
Dang.
right now aren't even subscribed to the channel.
Hey, subscribe.
So please,
Hey, y'all
if you enjoy
subscribe to
the
this to his
content,
channel,
consider
man.
hitting the subscribe button, because not
He
only
make
does
he
it
make
help
good
out the channel,
videos,
but
low
I would
key.
also very much appreciate it. Now, with that being said,
Hey,
let's
this
begin.
dude, low key.
Ever since
Congratulations to him, because this number was way up. It was like in the 90s, I think, or at least the 70s. I used to watch this video, and I was down to
very much
68. So people are
appreciate it.
listening.
Now, with that being said, let's begin.
Building your business online takes effort, and when it's ready for the world to see, that's where Google.
Sorry about that. The thing is that we got lottery picks, right? So I'm like, okay. But we just drafted horrible. We drafted horribly. Stanley Johnson. Mother. Oh my God, Stanley Johnson. Don't even get me started on Stanley Johnson. Don't even get me started on Brandon Knight, Stanley Johnson, KCP, Luke Kennard. Don't get me started on any of those guys, bro. But KCP was all right, though. KCP was all right. But he left us for the Lakers. Brandon Knight, he's just a meme. He got dunked on. It's the only good thing he did in Detroit. He got dunked on by DeAndre Jordan. And Stanley Johnson is literally the worst player I've ever seen play basketball. Ever. Literally. I've never seen anyone just so bad. But you know what? One time I went to a Pistons game, and we weren't in the front seats or anything, but we were kind of close. Like, we had to be in like the second, third, fourth row or something. And this dude, Stanley Johnson, is big. Not just like big. That dude is like big. You know what I'm saying? Kind of sad when he traded him. And Reggie. I'm like, dang, these are the dudes I'm growing up watching. These are the dudes I'm growing up watching, like, for real. Well, not growing up, but like when I started watching basketball, these dudes were the top of our team.
Starting on the night of the NBA draft, I will admit that I was a huge fan of a lot of the moves that they made.
Yeah,
They
Luke.
started things off 7th overall.
On to the
when
next.
They selected Killian
On to
Hayes,
Sadiq Bey,
who
boy.
I believe is a very promising
Forget
young
Luke.
point guard, and as long as he gets the
He
opportunity
was all right.
to develop
He was
over
all right.
time,
He wasn't
will be a
bad.
good pick in the long
But he's
run.
not a good defender.
They then had another first
not
round
really
pick
good at
where they
anything else
selected
besides
Isaiah
shooting.
Stewart 16th overall, a
I'd
strong
rather have
center
Sadiq
with a
Bey.
good inside game, and finally, they made a pretty big draft night trade, shipping out Luke Kennard in a 3-team deal with the Clippers and Nets, and in return, received picks such as the 19th overall pick, where they selected Sadiq Bey.
Yes,
Another
sir.
very strong pick for them. That
Strong
is a good
pick.
wing player. These kinds of moves, while bringing in so much youth, really had me fooled into believing that the Pistons were looking
I'm not
to the
looking at you,
future
Christian
and their
Wood, bro.
focus
I'm not even looking at you, man. Another ad. Hey guys. Okay.
was on the young guys.
Boy getting
But
paid
then
for this
free
video, I
agency
know it.
came around and proved that notion false. When Drummond got traded away last season, it opened up to the opportunity for his backup Christian Wood to step into a larger role as a starter, and once that happened, he emerged rapidly. Wood showed off superb talent in spurts throughout the year off the bench, but as a starter, he really came into his own at another level, averaging 23 points and 10 rebounds per game in that span.
Why did he leave us, man? He just used us as a step stool, man. He used us to step up into stardom, and now he's just gonna leave us, man. He would have been perfect alongside Killian Hayes, bro. I just love this man's game, man. He's athletic, and he blocks shots, and he shoots threes, and he rebounds, and he just plays with the energy, and he plays with a chip on his shoulder, man. I love it. He dunks every single
Wood
thing.
then entered free agency this summer,
he's like
and many
anywhere
assumed that the
close
Pistons
to
would
seeing the
reward him
rim,
by
he dunking it.
re-signing
I
him to a
love
new
that about him.
contract.
Look at that.
But when they let him
And
walk
he's skinny,
and
too.
sign
He's
instead
skinny,
with
but
the
he
Houston
dunk-
Rockets,
he be
it
dunking
wasn't
on
the
people.
end of the world.
I love
Ultimately,
this dude,
teams that
man.
are
Why do you have
focusing
to
on
leave?
rebuilding shouldn't be spending large amounts of money in long-term deals on good players, because the focus is on development and their youth for the future, right? Well, that's what you would think, but the Pistons had other ideas. Free agency for the Pistons started off
Jeremy
hot
Grant.
and
I
head-scratching
don't know how
with
to feel
some
about
moves,
this. I
and
don't
as the
really like the
period went
move.
on more and more, things
we
never
should've
really
went for
seemed to
someone
click.
better than
First,
Jeremy
they
Grant?
signed center Mason Plumlee to a 3-year contract worth $25 million, which,
Wait, 3 years, $25 million. That's about.
quite frankly, is a ton of money to spend
Is
on a
it?
player of his caliber.
$25
He's a
million.
career backup who is very
For 3
limited
years?
offensively, and while he plays his role well within reason, is now being paid
That's
a
at
hefty
least-
amount and will likely be the team's
That's a
starting
little
center.
less than $10 million,
The Pistons
right?
then followed that up by signing Jeremy Grant to a 3-year contract worth $60 million, as he was one of the
Little less
hottest
than
commodities on the market. And when he chose to leave the Denver Nuggets for the Pistons,
more.
it
It's more
legitimately
than 7
shocked
million.
almost everyone. Look, Jeremy Grant absolutely earned this payday after developing into
he
a highly
didn't.
valuable wing player
20
on both
million?
ends of the floor in his time in Denver, and his
Get outta here,
reasoning for
man.
wanting to go to a team where he'll get a bigger role is also valid. But the reason why this is a bad move isn't from the perspective of Grant. It's from the perspective of the Pistons.
Yes.
Like,
Bro, he's not the type of player that gets a bigger role, man. He's not a good enough player for that. He can't dribble. He can't create his own shot. He is not the type of player that needs a bigger role. No.
why exactly did they make this signing?
Right.
What is the goal here exactly? Are they rebuilding or are they not? Grant is exactly the kind of player that makes teams that are competing to win big better, as his versatility both as a scorer, defender, and rebounder help any rotation that he's a part of. But the Pistons just aren't very good, and signing him to come into this situation doesn't change that. Plus, he's locked in for 3 years now, which now
Bro, they shoulda did
limits
a
the
sign
team's
and trade with Blake
flexibility to
Griffin,
make
bro.
more moves, especially
Why do
when
they
you
have
consider Blake
all 3 of the
Griffin
dudes
and
on the
his
team?
monster contract are still on the team. Which, speaking of, is another aspect that makes the Pistons' plans even more difficult, because now the front court is jam-packed with players.
Exactly.
You could use the fact that Blake Griffin and Derrick Rose still being on the team means that the Pistons are actually looking to make a push for a playoff spot in the East, but let's be real. Several other Eastern Conference teams have improved ahead of them, and that goal is just flat-out unrealistic.
Yeah, he's right. Bro, between the Hornets, the Wizards, and the Bulls, those are 3 teams that are that have a chance to make the playoffs, for real. In the Eastern Conference now, Pistons are just not. They're just not there. You know what I'm saying?
Blake is well past his prime and always injured, and Rose will probably be someone teams look to trade for at the trade deadline, so I wouldn't anticipate him being there very long.
We need to trade Blake and D Rose together because he's the only valuable asset of this team. So I'm about to bro. D Rose is the only valuable asset on this team, bro. So we just need.
And so,
You got to
after all
package
of
him
this, the
with Blake
Pistons are
if you want
still
him
hovering
gone.
in the limbo zone of the
I
league,
think.
handing out bad contracts and limiting their ability to grow something good for the future. They're now relying on Jeremy Grant to be a go-to guy in the lineup, while young players like Sekou Doumbouya and Sadiq Bey get less opportunity. Mason Plumlee is now in the mix, taking away minutes from newly drafted Isaiah Stewart, and they traded away Luke Kennard to focus on a rebuild that isn't happening. The Pistons continually max out their ability to compete as an, at best, low-seeded playoff team, and they do this while simultaneously raising their floor to the point where they won't finish low enough in the standings to get a top draft pick.
They do this
Things
all the
are
time,
not
man.
going well
This is what
over
I
there,
say.
and their
I
path,
always say
quite
this.
frankly, seems directionless. And with that being said,
Bro, me and my dad always say that. My dad, he just hates the Pistons. He doesn't hate them, but he just hates like what they're doing. He he's in the same boat that everyone else is in. We're like, okay, so this is what you're doing, right? You're not gonna so you're not gonna be bad enough to get a good draft pick, but you're not gonna be good enough to compete in the playoffs. So you're just kind of in the middle, and there's nowhere to go with that. You know what I'm saying? Plus Blake getting injured all the time. They traded Andre Drummond. They signed Mason Plumlee. Like, what are y'all trying to do, man? I just don't get it, bro. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed. This video is longer than the actual video I'm reacting to, but I have a lot strong feelings about this team, man. It's my hometown team, so. But I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace out, man.